Hey guys, it's Nathan and welcome to Hale. So every year I like to keep track of all the movies that I watched for the first time. I keep track on this on the Letterboxd app, and this video is going to be my 10 favorite movies that I saw for the first time this past year. Now the catch is that these movies are movies that were released in 2018 or before. I don't include 2019 releases because I have my own list for my favorite 2019 movies, and so it doesn't really make sense to include them on this list. Now, this video is going to be my 10 favorite first-time watches. However, if you would like to see my top 25 favorite first-time watches, then click the link below. It's going to send you to my Letterboxd list of my 25 favorite first-time watches of 2019. Also, just as I say with all my videos, any R-rated films you see on the list, I watched filtered through VidAngel or on TV or some other method. It's just the way I prefer to watch R-rated films. Coming in at number 10 is the 1946 film Beauty and the Beast. This movie is absolutely beautiful. The Beast's makeup is so well done for the time, and I feel like the set design is way ahead of its time as well, especially the Beast's castle. I love it in old movies when you see strings holding props, like floating props, things like that. Yes, it seems amateur today, but it honestly makes me like the movie even more. And that's the case with Beauty and the Beast. I noticed that a few times, but it's just, they're all practical effects. You can tell that this movie was filmed in a different era, and it just makes me appreciate it even more. There are a lot of scenes in this movie that are filmed in reverse, which I really like. And overall, at the end of the day, it's just a very magical movie. I mean, it is the epitome of the word fantasy. At number 9, I had the 1936 film Modern Times. This was the third Charlie Chaplin film that I've ever seen, and honestly, I would probably call it my favorite Charlie Chaplin film. The other two I've seen are City Lights and The Kid. It's just such a feel-good movie. But to be fair, like every Chaplin film was super feel-good. You've got nervous breakdowns, you've got roller skates on escalators, you've got people being sucked through machines. That's perhaps the most iconic scene of the movie. And so much more all in one movie. And it's funny too. It's very funny. There were scenes that I laughed out loud in. If you haven't seen it, it's very iconic. Check it out, Modern Times. Number 8 goes to the 2011 film A Separation. This movie won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars in 2012, and it was very deserved of that award. It is absolutely phenomenal. I actually watched it for my Decade in Review for the year 2011. The story is sad, yet realistic, and the acting is absolutely amazing. It's about a husband and a wife who are currently in the process of getting divorced, and they're just trying to work out a plan for what will be best for their daughter. But the movie goes in a direction that I was not expecting, and the final result is just, it's amazing. And that ending, watch this movie, guys. Please watch this movie. It's just so good. Last time I checked, it was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. If it's not, find a way to watch it. It's amazing. At number 7, I have the 2017 film 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Frances McDormand deserved her Oscar. She did amazing. And Sam Rockwell deserved his too. The performances in this movie are just incredible. I loved them. And this is one of those movies that just reminded me of why I love a film so much. I mean, I really experienced all the emotions. There are some scenes that I was laughing in. There were some scenes that had me sad. There were some scenes where I was cheering for the characters. Other scenes where I pitied the characters. And overall, it was just an emotional roller coaster, and it was so enjoyable to watch. At number 6, I have the 1952 film Akiru. Are you ready for a film to change your life? Because this one is it, let me tell you. This is about a man named Watanabe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. However, he finds out he has cancer, and so he starts to look at life with a new perspective. He starts to try to find the meaning of life. I mean, the title Akiru literally means to live. Just that plot alone should tell you that it's going to be an emotional ride. The movie to me felt like a mixture of It's a Wonderful Life as well as a little bit of 12 Angry Men. The scene that's on the cover of him swinging in the park, that is one of my new favorite movie scenes of all time. I just love it. And the final shot of this movie is very impactful as well. It's kind of a long movie, but if you have the time, watch the movie. It's great. At number 5, I have the 1979 film Alien. Yes, I know. I don't know why it's taking me this long to see this movie, but here we are. I love the tagline of this movie, "In space, no one hears you scream." It's exactly like what this movie is. It just fits this movie so well. The movie is so suspenseful and entertaining as well. I'm not gonna lie though, as much as I like the movie, a lot of the characters in this movie are just plain idiots. They do very dumb things, but it's okay. If you look past that, the movie's great. The scene where Dallas is in the shafts and he sees the alien. One of the biggest jump scares I had experienced in a while when I saw that scene. I jumped. It was very scary. Also, that scene where the cat watches one of the crew members get killed by the alien is so eerie, but I loved the way they filmed that. It's just a very eerie tone. Number 4 is the 2014 film Song of the Sea. Now, I've talked a little bit about this one recently on my top 10 animated films of the past decade, so I won't spend too much time on this. In a nutshell, I just want to say that if you're looking for a good animated film, this is the one to watch. The 2D animation is absolutely beautiful. It focuses on Irish stories and selkies, things such as that, mythical creatures, and the story that it gives you is very emotional. I mentioned in a past video that there are a lot of characters who cry in this movie, and when they're crying, you feel for them. It's just a sad movie, but at the same time, it's heartwarming, and I say those two words a lot, but I mean, it gives you a feel of what kind of movies I like to watch. Check it out if you haven't already. Number 3 is the 1987 film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I feel like this is on the same tier as Alien, where you're probably just wondering, you haven't seen that movie before? And yeah, I saw it for the first time just about a month ago, actually. I mean, it is a Thanksgiving movie, right? So I watched it on Thanksgiving night, and I just loved it. It was amazing. It is so heartwarming and so hilarious too. There were several scenes that I laughed out loud. Several scenes where I looked at my TV and I was like, what the heck am I watching? Like, what? It's so good. John Candy dressed up as the devil is one of my new favorite things ever. I laughed so hard in that scene. It's just such a funny movie and so ridiculous. It's a new classic in my mind, one that I know I'll watch several more times in the future years to come. Number 2 goes to the 2013 film Inside Llewyn Davis. It's something else. It's something special. If you've seen the movie, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. To say things that I like about the movie, I love the period that it takes place in. I love the music that you hear and the songs that they sing. Some of them are goofy, other ones are entertaining, other ones are just sad. Following this character, Llewyn Davis, is an experience within itself. He's a homeless guy who's a folk singer, doesn't make a lot of money. There's a lot of symbolism to the story as well, particularly with a cat, which didn't expect that, but the symbolism in this movie, there's a lot of it, and it's deep too. I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of the symbolism in this film. But it's a movie that I saw, and I watched it again about a month later because it was just so stuck with me in my mind. It was ingrained in me, and it's great. I love it. So check that one out. And number 1 is a pretty special film to me. It is the 1959 film, The Bridge. The movie follows some teenagers. I think they're about 16 years old. It's at the end of World War II, and they are enlisted in the army. They're all excited to fight for Germany. Yes, the movie takes place from Germany's point of view, so that's an interesting turn. But they're all interested and excited to fight for their country. And what happens is their army general, I don't know what rank it is, but their army general assigns them to just stand outside the city and protect the city from any attacks. However, what they don't know is that they're not guarding the city from anything. The general's basically just giving them an assignment so that they feel like they helped in some way. But through a turn of events and some things that go wrong, basically, they end up having to protect the city in the station that they are staked out at. The movie is so sad. I mean, it's a war film, and so you can imagine that there are some sad scenes. But what's crazier is that this is a true story and that no one knows about it. It's a very underrated film. It's a film that I found out about through the Criterion Collection. And it's one that I blind bought and I watched, and I loved it. I just loved it so much. If I were to describe this movie in one word, I would say innocence, because that's what it is. It's just a bunch of naive teenager boys trying to fight for their country, trying to be the best that they can be to represent their country, and what unfolds is just heartbreaking. Like I said earlier, I actually made a top 25 favorite list of my favorite first-time watches of the year. And so if you want to see the complete list, like I said, follow me on Letterboxd. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Also, leave your comments of some of your favorite first-time watches. And stay tuned for the weirdest first-time watches of the year. I'm excited to film that one. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye now.